These hazelnuts did not come from the store. All right, admittedly, that was a bad way to hold them for the video, but these did not come from the store. They came from a shrub that's just on the edge of a field near my house. These are the so-called American hazelnut, the hazelnut species that is native to most of the eastern half of this continent. Now, although they are typically smaller than the hazelnuts that you buy in the store, they taste just as good, and sometimes you will find American hazelnuts that are almost as big as hazelnuts you find in the store. Throughout the population of this species, you can find a wide range of sizes of hazelnuts. A lot of people think of planting trees as a long game, but these hazelnuts can produce nuts from a seed in 3 to 4 years. That is, a 3 to 4 year old plant can start producing nuts for you. They're very, very easy to grow. They're native here. They're hardy. They're quick to establish. They support local wildlife. They're very, very cool plants. Now, friends, total transparency here. I make most of my money selling plants in the nursery, so I'm biased, but I think we have some really nice hazelnut shrubs available through the nursery right now. You can find the link to our website in my bio, or you can type in livingsoiltreefarm.com, and we will ship hazelnut plants to you. You can get them in the ground, and in a few years, you'll be eating your own hazelnuts from your backyard or front yard. I should also mention that these wild hazelnuts are very small plants. They max out at 10 to 15 feet tall and wide, and they're wind pollinated. They actually open up their flowers in winter, typically January through March, depending on where you live. And the flowers are incredibly cold resistant. They can handle ridiculously cold temperatures. Now, don't be alarmed if you live somewhere cold on the eastern half of this continent. Like I said, they're native throughout almost the entire eastern half here, so they can handle some very, very cold temperatures. The male flowers are these drooping catkin things, typically about this long. When they open up, they get bright yellow as they release that pollen, and the female flowers are these little itty bitty bright pink things. It's pretty cool. Other than loving eating the nuts, one of my favorite things about the wild hazelnuts is that they can handle really dry soils and incredibly wet soils, and obviously they can handle really good soil. But basically, just they're very adaptable. You can grow them in places where a lot of other plants might not be happy. If you want the most nuts and if you want them to grow the fastest, you want to put them in a spot with good soil. But like I said, they can really tolerate and survive in some rough sites. I'm currently in the process of going through and getting all of my nuts out of the husk. I do eat some of these, but I mostly save them for seed to grow next year's hazelnut shrubs for the nursery. It's a long, involved process from finding a hazelnut shrub, getting there and getting the seeds on time, processing the seeds, storing them properly, growing them in the nursery, taking care of them for a full year, digging them up, and getting them shipped out to you guys. That's what it takes, though, to get these plants out there. There's a lot more to talk about with hazelnut. Let me know what you want to hear more about. We didn't really touch at all on the European species of hazelnut, which is very difficult to grow in our climate on the eastern half of this continent. But commercially speaking, that's where most hazelnuts come from, is the European species. They're a little bit different in terms of how they grow. They're impacted by a disease here on the East Coast and the Midwest, but our native hazelnuts are very hardy, very easy to grow. And like I said, they still produce delicious hazelnuts.